I'm kind of homesick for a country to which I've never seen before. No sad goodbye.
Beyond this land of parting, losing and leaving, far beyond the losses, dark running this, and far beyond the taking and the bereaving, lies a summer land of bliss.
Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away when the shadows of this life have gone. I'll fly away like a bird from prison bars has flown. I'll fly away.
You know, it's somewhat ironic that it was not that long ago that I thought about Brother Bill in the middle of the sermon. And I was preaching in Evergreen, was talking about how much God cares for us and His sympathy for us. And I used the passage where Jesus said that the very hairs of your head are all numbered. In a flashback of time that I use that verse when I was standing here, and it happened out of the corner of my eye to see Brother Bill. He always sat over here, and everybody was staring at Bill. And I just had to stop and say, "Don't everybody look at Brother Bill." I was too, but I have to admit that. Because there's all the hairs in the room that I could number. Now Solomon said in Ecclesiastes that it's better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Now, like all of us, I think about that from a human standpoint. I'd much rather go out and eat than go to a funeral home. Because when I go out and eat, usually it's being with friends, it's enjoying being together, it's a good time. When I go to the funeral home, it's a time, as Solomon said in the morning, time of sadness and sharing in that grief. But what Solomon went on to say was that it's in that time that people tend to realize, I'm going to be there too. And so they lay it to heart, this is the end of all men. Solomon, he had the resources, he had the wisdom, everything. He said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it all. And he did. But the first half of that book is without God. And then he's moving in that direction and he comes to a conclusion. That doesn't mean anything without God, but it means everything with God. One of the things that I think about when I think about Brother Bill was some of the characteristics that God expects us to have in our lives. And one of the things that stands out is friendliness. Now, when I first met Bill, your impression was, and you remember, Bill was a large man, not fat, big man. That here was somebody I wouldn't want to meet in the dark alley. You know, he was scary looking from a big standpoint. But when you got to know him, his heart was bigger. And you lost all that feeling. It was certainly somebody you wouldn't mind running into or you wouldn't mind seeing, because he was friendly. Solomon also said that a man that would have friends must show himself friendly. And Mr. Bill did that. He wasn't that outspoken or that loud, but he was always friendly. And there's a great lesson there. So remember that about him. The friendliness that he had. It doesn't necessarily have to be your bosom buddy and somebody you're with a lot or all the time. Just be kind. Be nice to people. Brother Bill was. He had that care and that concern about him. He was serious a lot of the time. He could cut up too, but he was serious. And sometimes those moments would run together. Like, it was very serious when he talked to me that night about he wanted to be baptized and he wanted to obey the gospel. That, of course, is not a laughing, that's a serious matter. But then when we started down into the baptismal pool, the thing that went through my mind was, how am I going to get this big man up? Because, you take him under the water and you want to get him up, you don't want to drown somebody. And literally had to go all the way down with him to get him up. Didn't joke about it at that moment, that wasn't a joking time, but shared a laugh or two with Brother Bill about that after that. I didn't know how I was going to get you up. He said, I didn't either. I think Kyle's the one who told me. He said, well, I jumped in there with you if I had to. And I know Kyle would have. And I appreciate that. When we think about some of the writings of Solomon and about his change, we see the growth there that he had. And we look at people and we see friendships that grow, and we see people as they become Christians and they grow not only physically but spiritually, and we see that development. And when we look at that, we see somebody that learned the gospel and obeyed the gospel and they developed those characteristics. We need to take that, glean it from their lives. I know we all have our own personal memories that we hold on to, and different ones of you remember Brother Bill in different ways because of the aspects, things that you did with him. And I would encourage you to hold on to those because, it's a lot of those things that today are breaking your heart and putting a tear in your eyes as time goes by. Those are some of the very things that put a smile on your face. And you'll laugh together and you'll enjoy those memories. But to take those aspects of his life that God wants us to have and to put those into practice into your life. And the thing that stands out most, as I alluded to, was his friendliness. You see, it doesn't cost us a dime, does it, to be friendly to people. It may just be a kind word. It may just be a moment of sympathy, whatever. Just be friendly to people. And then when we turn over to the New Testament and we talk about this and facing this time of life, and when we come to the book of 1 Thessalonians, Paul is writing to a group of people there who have learned the truth. They have obeyed it. They're Christians. And they look forward to Jesus coming again, because that's what they've been taught. But, unlike us, they hadn't read the rest of the story. And so they had a question. What about our loved ones who have already died in Jesus? They're going to miss out on his coming. And so Paul had to explain to them, no, they're not. The dead are going to be raised. They're going to be there too. But then he told them, he said, that ye sorrow not. Now if he'd stopped right there, we'd have said, wait a minute. Now I love this person. I had a relationship with this person, and they're not there now, and that hurts. Paul understood that. He was human just like we are. But he didn't stop there, did he? Paul said that you sorrow not even as others which had no hope. He didn't say don't sorrow. You're going to sorrow. But because of Jesus, we can have a hope. That's what he's reminding them of. That's what we need to remind ourselves of as we think about a person hearing and obeying the gospel. That's the most important thing. And so when I think about Brother Bill, I remember the conversations and I remember his decision to obey the gospel. And I remember the humorous things about it, like I told you about how I'm not going to get him up and things like that. But most of all, that he obeyed the gospel. We need to make sure that we're going to be in that number, like Paul said, that you don't sorrow as others that have no hope. Make sure you're in that group that has that hope. Would you bow with me in a word of prayer?
Beulah land, I'm longing for you, and someday on thee I'll stand, and there my home shall be eternal.
Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. Let's pray.